Lara Williams. This is Sonographers After Dark. I'm back. I am joined by Judith Buckland. Judith, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a decade.
I know. Yeah,
been a decade.
It has. It's been, almost exactly. So we did a course together. What, like 2016?
We did a live seminar.
Yeah.
That covered vascular ultrasound.
Yep.
And all I think about when I think of that is at that time, I was all into the different styles of learning. And I was into kinetic learning. Do you remember I had everybody standing up and quacking like a duck?
Should really have people quack like a duck in my
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I never did incorporate that into my teaching, I have to say.
Yeah, you have to be like really committed to ask your audience to stand up, and instead of doing ABC, you do pat the head, quack like a duck. It was like I was just in that space and zone and just fully committed and went for it, and everybody cooperated.
Hey, everyone did it and they loved it. It was great. I remember that. I think we have a video recording of that or something.
Oh my goodness,
somewhere.
That was funny.
That was fun. Fun times. A lot has changed since 2016, 2017, whenever we did that.
Pre-COVID, my God.
Oh yeah. Lots of change and adaptation within the industry. We've seen a lot of new developments in the industry. And a lot of things that you're a full-time entrepreneur and I'm sure had to make a lot of adjustments in your business and in how you serve your clients and your customers through that change. I mean, 2020 hit hard, right?
You're not kidding. I mean, this, the silver lining of all of a sudden physicians understanding you can indeed hold a meeting via Zoom. Like I used to get on a plane, go somewhere for a 1 hour meeting, and it's like ridiculous. And now it's like, oh yeah, we can do education remotely. We can do it via Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was an upside.
Yeah. Definitely not what they were used to before, for sure. Yeah. I think when 2020 hit, I was working in industry, and I went from like preparing a little bit of education here and there to like I was preparing talks every day because we were trying to educate people when we had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So we were just doing talks all day long every day. I was making like I can't tell you how many PowerPoints I put together.
No, it's good though. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So what has that shift kind of looked like for you?
So I think that, if we go back, so like I began my business in 2007, and, you initially start to get some momentum behind, for me, because my main business is accreditation. I selected Intersocietal Accreditation Commission over the American College of Radiology, more so because the ACR seems to have their guidelines and standards focus mostly on equipment, right? But the Intersocietal Accreditation Commission focuses on process. And so for me, that's like the roll your sleeves up, nitty gritty, like, I'm all about changing and improving, that process within an organization. Right. And so I was just so focused on how to be more efficient while driving quality. And it took me like a couple of years before I had my huge aha moment, which is, it's nothing to do with accreditation. It's all to do with education. Accreditation is just foundational skeleton that gives you a starting point, right? I found that the main benefit of going in under the umbrella of accreditation was that it gives you a level of authority and kind of background support to implement stuff. So like you'll have sonographers and physicians that have been screaming the same thing from the rooftops. And nobody listens. But all of a sudden admin will get on board because you're doing it for accreditation. Right. And so to me, I realized, oh, wow, it's just like a magic buzzword to do what sonographers and physicians have been wanting to do, which is improve and standardize. Yeah. So then I shifted that shift in the aha kind of put me into education space. And so in I want to say it was right around when we had collaborated. So around 2016 is when we then started an online learning platform. And I partnered with a company that became my joint provider. So I was able to offer Cat 1 AMA CMEs. And so from like 2016, 2017, all the way through to the end of December 2025, I worked under the umbrella of another company offering Cat 1 AMA online learning platform. But the aha moment of understanding how much I care about education and quality made me realize that there's so much work that sonographers and physicians do that they could be getting CMEs for. So it just became this, I guess, let me step back. I think that, okay, mental health within our space, right?
It's a big factor.
It's a big factor. And so, yeah, I don't know how personal we get here, but I lost my stepson.
Yeah.
Mental health.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And, when you have something like you hear these statistics on, people that take their life, and it's always just a number. It's not real until it hits home, right? So we were broadsided, caught off guard, and it then becomes this new prism and lens that you look through, right? And so now, you're trying to run a business, you're trying to do what's best for your clients. And now I'm looking through this lens of mental health and the stress and anxiety within our space, within healthcare.
Yeah.
And I think that new lens of looking at life, both personally and professionally, made me have this new acute awareness about how can I ease the pressure in other people's lives just a little. It just has to be 1 degree. They say it's the straw that broke the camel's back. What one straw that by itself looks insignificant, what one straw can I do to make people's life easier? And when I'm looking through that lens, I'm like, okay, we have so many directions we're being pulled in. We have accreditation. We have everyone's individual credentials they're trying to maintain. We have CMEs for credentials, CMEs for accreditation. There was like so much stuff. We have hospitals with quality improvement programs. We have hospitals with clinical ladders requiring stuff. And I was just like, oh my goodness, there's so much pulling on us. And they're all overlapping.
Yeah.
What can be done so that we're not doing so much? Like, what one straw can I lighten someone's back? Yeah. And so it was like that made me realize, you know what? I think I want to seek out my own ACCME accreditation. I want, instead of working under the umbrella of somebody else that I'm grateful for, I think I want to like roll my sleeves up and kind of get myself into this ACCME space. So I took this huge leap last year.
That's a huge leap. That's a lot of money.
Brutal. It is expensive.
It's like 12. I'm in the process of trying. It's $12,000
just to begin.
Just to start.
To begin.
And then on top of that, all the work that goes into it. I'm in the earlier stages looking into the same thing.
Okay, well, good. So let's talk, because so now I'm in the July 2026 cohort.
I'm not anywhere close to that. I'm literally just in the research phase. Like it's started getting into it.
Horrifying. It's horrifying. Yeah. So I have the it's funny.
I appreciate the encouraging words.
Well, it's funny because I do accreditation assistance, and now this is a different accreditation. I'm like, why is it so hard? Like, I think it'd be like so much easier to earn an accreditation when I help other people with, but it's madness.
Yeah.
But the big picture goal became, okay, I want to be able to, in one stroke, be like, okay, I'm going to help this hospital with or without accreditation needs achieve the following. And it was, I want to be able to implement quality improvement, whether that is because they are seeking accreditation and we're staying within the IAC accreditation space, or whether it's just because they want their hospital to have a better echo program. Right. But I want to be able to, you know, help facilities implement quality improvement while also performing peer review, whether that's physician to physician peer review, sonographer to sonographer, like do peer review, have case studies, evaluations, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, you know what? For all of this work that we are doing together collectively, whether it's clinical correlation, peer review, whatnot, that they can check the box for accreditation, check the box for CMEs, which checks the box for their personal credentials, for the hospital credentials, that also checks the box for physicians' MOC requirements, and even possibly check the box for MIPS, which is the Medicare, you know, improvement, you know, measures that they can complete. And it was like, how can I just meld everything into one so that when we work with a client, it's like at the end of our time together, they're accredited, they have CMEs, they have their credentials, they have their mark, they have everything.
Yeah.
And it's like to lighten the load, and it like no one person's going to wake up and be like, wow, I am so thrilled I got to check one box. It's going to be something they may not even feel.
Yeah. Until it's over.
I've helped to like lighten their load.
Yeah. And that's huge, you know, because accreditation on its own is tasking. And there's so much work that goes into it for not just you as the reviewer or as the, you know, accreditation consultant, because you and I have both worked in roles like that, you know. Exactly. And so, you know, it can be very challenging. And then also to get people to come alongside you in the process and actually, because you can't do it by yourself. You need the physicians to cooperate. You need the sonographers to be on board with it, and you have to have buy-in. So how do you get the buy-in to the whole process? Because the process can be challenging. So I think you're on the right track with making the process be beneficial in all aspects of it.
Because everyone has, you know, the whole carrot or stick, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has a different carrot. And so for some, they may be like, oh, good, you know, we want to be accredited, so we'll do this. Yeah. Someone else may be like, I really don't care, but I'm getting CMEs for my credentialing. And somebody, you know what I mean? Like everyone may have a different reason, but our big picture, because we step all the way back, is quality, quality, quality. Whatever drives that is driving this individual into wanting to cooperate. Because like you said, we can't do it for them. We have to have buy-in. We have, you know, so it's my new like project. So then once we kind of shifted to, okay, what does that look like to seek our own accreditation? Then it was like, scary, you know, ending my relationship with my joint provider, scary, going offline, because now we're dead in the water. Like all of our CMEs had to be completed by December 31st.
You know, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It was so scary to like, we're offline right now.
Yeah. So, wow.
In regards to being able to offer CME credit, we still have our educational material, but a lot of people don't take educational material
just because.
Yeah, right. So it's been scary, but it's given us a vision of better cardiology. Like, what does better cardiology look like? So it just became the whole thing that better education creates better outcomes, which is better cardiology. So, you know, it's still CardioServe, but we're looking at launching our educational platform under the name Better Cardiology by CardioServe, because it's that focus on better education and better outcomes. So we're still behind the scenes, sleeves rolled up, like then
the trenches.
Like, to then launch a new platform. It's like, okay, well, we want new material.
Yeah.
And then we want to collaborate across, like what you're doing with, you know, like cooperating more with peers and like we talked offline about, sometimes people are in that box about, oh, well, I may be competing with this person. I don't want to, no, share.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's been great. Like the process of even putting together a medical board, like for the ACE, I'm like, what am I even going to do? And it's, I reached out to cardiologists I've known for 2 decades, and they're like, yeah, of course we'll sit on your board. Like, why wouldn't we? And then it's like, wow. And so, like, working with different physicians that come with different backgrounds, like, you know, some have worked in the space of training fellows. And so they are still excited, not just about learning, but about teaching. And that flame of enthusiasm, you know, it infuses light and energy into a project, you know, that passion. And then you have like some that are just hardcore, been a doctor for 40 years and have this wisdom that they bring to the table, you know, that's just like, wow, so many.
They've seen everything.
Yes. Yes. So I think just in general, the whole journey into what does it look like to completely blend accreditation, quality improvement, and education into one big bubble is kind of where we're at right now. I think, you know, when we began in the beginning, like I said, we were focused on like best process, like how do you do things efficiently? And I built like it's funny because I don't know why I don't market it more, but I built a software product, an accreditation software product.
I have one too.
And I think it's, and
I don't market it either. I use it for clients, but I don't really market it well.
Yeah. I think it's like, so for us, I mean, it is the backbone of CardioServe. So we call it eCardioServe. The only reason we can handle as many clients as we can is because we fully have we run everything through eCardioServe. And at first it's like, you know, when people say, what's eCardioServe? I'm like, well, if you were an accountant and you created TurboTax, right? It's like an accountant's brain with a user interface where the user doesn't know anything and the brain's inside the software. Like that's what eCardioServe is. It's like our brain through years of doing this so that the user gets to just answer questions, yes, no, and it spits out, you know, their policies, their procedures, their quality improvement measures. But we developed it without the initial intent of it ever being an end user other than our company staff.
So you need it to, you know, when you're doing accreditation full time, you know, it was so challenging. I had 5 people that helped me review things and review images and put protocols, and it kept us busy nonstop because it was so much work. That's why I developed mine too, the same reason, because we couldn't keep up with it otherwise.
You cannot. And it's silly to not automate. I mean, it's like everything else in the world is automated. So, I guess so initially it was just we used it internally. And then I had a client that so desperately wanted us in the hospital. And the health organization, this hospital was, you know, within, said, no, accreditation is done internally, period, end of story. You're not allowed to hire an outside consultant. So I'm like, okay, then use my software. That is my brain. That is me. And so that's how we got into the hospital. So they pay their monthly subscription for the software. And then the software includes every 3 years us filing and submitting their accreditation. So it was a way for hospitals that are like, no to outside consultants. Oh, software, absolutely. They got to then have the guidance of CardioServe without, you know, and being able to stay into the constraints of their hospital system.
And I think that has shifted so much in the field, because when I was doing accreditation consulting full time, and as you've been doing it for so long as well, there, you know, I think even a little bit before 2020, I think more like 2017, 2018, hospitals started shifting to hiring their own technical directors that were doing their accreditation. They had accreditation specialists. I was one of them. I took a job after I closed my business in 2015. doing accreditation, and that's when you and I think first connected over the phone.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, okay, well, I was looking for what direction to go with what I was doing to help my clients kind of transition out when I was closing my business. And that was because I almost died. I don't know if you remember that. I had talking about personal things that make you just change everything you're doing in life. That was one of them. I almost died through some health challenges, and I just was like, I can't keep doing this anymore. And so that's when I closed that business. But um so I think though the shift that we saw from all of that was that hospitals are internalizing all of that process. And so, I know as an organization, I know that you had to also shift along with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of helped to, I'm sure, bridge that gap for you as an entrepreneur as well.
That was very eye-opening for us to see organizations wanting to lock down outside consultants. But it ended up, again, the silver lining, because then I was like, wow, I do have this product that is amazing. And so then I just tweaked and added some additional stuff that would help, first-time users. And I'm like, yeah, this is a really good product that we have to help people automate accreditation. They can use it for first-time accreditation, for reaccreditation. To me, our main module that I love is the quality improvement module. You know what I mean? And that's like phenomenal. So now crazily so IAC dropped in, I want to say maybe November or early December, that they were going to add HOCM to that accreditation. So now for echo right now, you have in the adult space, you have transthoracic stress echo TEE, and they were like, hey, we're going to do HOCM.
Yeah.
So they dropped their potential standards, and you know how they open it to the public?
Right.
So it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I want to be all over this now.
Yeah.
So I took what they dropped. Now, to be very, very clear, this is not their final standards.
Right. Right. We all know they change.
And to be clear, I got an email from someone at IAC to be like, but we haven't finalized it yet. How are you advertising? I'm like, no. I will. It's fully understood. It's not finalized, but we see the direction you're going into, and we just want to get ahead. So, I made some phone calls, and Dr. Wharton's up in New York, and he does so much HOCM work. And then a sonographer who works with Dr. Martinez, who does a lot of education, especially in the space of, goal-driven Valsalvas and which there's just such a need for. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to put a webinar together. Can I offer CMEs? Nope. Is it going to be really interesting? Yep. Will it help people prepare for the upcoming accreditation? Yep. So now I took the standards that were dropped, which are not final, and I've already built it into eCardioCert. So I already have report review and the peer review, all these extra questions to double check. Hey, are you guys doing this, this, and this if it's a HOCM study? And so we're going to do a webinar. So I've already announced the webinar. We don't have a date finalized yet. But I'm excited because I'm how you have all these brilliant ideas, and you're always feel like you're a minute late and a penny short kind of thing. And this one, I'm just like, wow, it literally fell into space that my software engineer, developer had time. And I've literally built out the whole HOCM accreditation in eCardioCert.
Yeah.
And already connected with the doctor and the sonographer for the webinar. So I'm like, oh, wow, this is actually going to be cool. So so we posted it, we have a newsletter that goes out weekly, and I've already posted to open up for questions. So we're already getting questions. And so I knew the two questions. If I had been able to predict the two questions, one was, how do you differentiate an LVOT gradient from MR? First question that came in. And the second question was, are you going to demonstrate how to do a goal-directed Valsalva? And I'm like, guaranteed those two questions. So
nice.
Out of a will.
So
so that's exciting, because I feel like I'm actually on top of it, for once.
Yeah, for once.
So
I
I'll
know
let
it's
you know the
beautiful when
date.
it all comes together, but I think the mind of an entrepreneur, right? So, entrepreneur to entrepreneur here, and even though, yeah, I stepped into industry for a while, I still thought like an entrepreneur all the
Oh
time
yeah,
because you
it's in your
can't,
blood. It's in your blood.
it is in your blood. You can't get rid of it. It is what it is. When you've done nothing but work off of your own blood, sweat, and tears for decades, right? Like it is just what drives you. And so then you end up with my mind races like crazy. I have a million thoughts and I'm like, okay, I have to write them down so I don't forget
Mm-hmm.
my ideas of things that I'm, because and the hardest thing about entrepreneurship for me is that I can't do everything I want to do right now.
I know.
Like I have these brilliant ideas and I'm like,
I
I can't
know.
put it all together. I have some, I have myself, I have some assistants that help me, but I don't have a team of 20 people so anymore. I used to when I had my other business before, but now it's me and a few others. And so I have to kind of take a step back and
Pick
figure
and
out
choose.
priorities and what is reasonable to achieve. And so that's the hardest thing for me is reeling myself back in.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It is so hard. I think there was some study that said like 70% of CEOs have ADD. And I'm like, yeah, because that's why because that's why we have so many ideas though, because we're always thinking,
Always.
always. And the
Constantly.
ADD, it's just like sometimes it's paralyzing.
It is. It can be because then you
It's
overthink things and then
oh
you
my
like
God.
you
It's
just
it's
you don't know
funny
which
because
way to
like
go. Yeah.
a neurotypical brain, like my son has autism. He's I guess he used to put Asperger's, now it's just ASD. So it's funny because I already live in a neurodivergent household to begin
Mm-hmm.
with, but like a neurotypical person, I'm always so fascinated how they can start a task and go from point 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to the end and then they're done. I'm like, wow, my brain's a tree, an algorithm of like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
insanity that you do
Yes.
one thing, it's like, oh, oh,
Yep.
oh. And I
Squirrel.
think
This.
my
Yeah. All the
I think
time.
some of my best ideas has come from my ADD just
Yep.
tripping. And I'm like,
Exactly. Yeah. I drive my husband
it's like a
crazy with that because
prereq
he's
to own
like,
your own business is you have to have ADD.
you do. I think you do. I think it's true. Yeah, I really do. Because every like serial entrepreneur that I've met or long-term entrepreneur that I've met definitely has ADD.
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
But it's fun though, because
Yeah.
it does end up exposing you to things and people and ideas that normally I think people would just shut down. But I think
Mhm.
we have, it could be possible. This could be possible. And if you
Yeah.
throw enough things out there that could be
Yeah.
possible, sometimes
Yeah.
it hits.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
is
it's
true.
crazy.
Yeah. And that's the goal, to find the one that does hit, right?
And then sometimes the goal is like what you're doing. It's not even about the money,
No.
right?
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It does end up being about the community,
Yeah.
about the industry. And it sounds cheesy, but only in your core and soul that the things that we do, not for glory, not for money, like our blogs, right? Like CardioServe, I think we kind of got put on the map with our
We did.
blogs.
Yeah.
Labor of love, my
Yes.
Lord.
Yeah.
Our blogs are free internationally around the whole world. Like when we
Hmm.
look at our stats, there's like internationally, like that's the
Yep.
thing I'm proud of. Like we provide education on an international level to people who don't have access to education. We
Hmm.
went to India when we did our world
Yeah.
tour back in
Oh yeah, I remember that.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But India has access to education. But
Hmm.
now it's like we to be able to give free education at the caliber that we give it is one
Hmm.
of like the things I think I'm so most proud of. So it was like, how you redo your website and you get people that will give you ideas and consultants and all
Hmm.
this, and they run statistics. And
Yeah.
one of them was just like, yeah, why are you giving away so much free information? And I'm like, oh, that's not changing. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like,
Yeah.
that's like part of like the core of who we are.
Yep.
It's like the most I could ever do is offer it like for $2 just to keep stuff going on the back end.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
we're proud of the free education.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
your blogs are great and they're like one of the most shared. I think I see your content shared so much on social media too. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
yep, that's Judith's.
yeah. We had a brilliant graphic designers, so
Yeah,
that helped because we have,
yeah,
because sonographers are visual, right?
yes, very
And
much
I
so.
think sonographers are more visual than physicians. And so I think that academia is very black and white. Here is a 22-page guideline paper. And sonographers are like, what? Where's the pictures?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
started like drawing stuff out. And it's so funny because our graphic designer had no medical background. So we're literally drawing on napkins. No, 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 the valve has to be closed. No, 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 this has to be this. And she's just like, I don't even know what I'm drawing at this point.
Yeah.
But
I
at the
love the
end,
one of the TEE, the two perspectives, the physician and the sonographer. I love that image. And I see that
that
thing
is,
shared everywhere.
it is. And notice
Yeah.
how it's a goal
Yeah.
surgeon.
I love that she has her high heels on.
It's like goal power.
Yeah. I love it.
That is one of them. That is the
I
image.
think that's the best one ever.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, because for us, I mean, again, it's like this, that was one of the things is when you live in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
you all of a sudden, as a sonographer, you're like, I now understand why the doctor and the surgeon are not communicating.
Right.
Like the whole like interdepartmental communications, like a surgeon's looking down all the time at the view and like we're looking up. And so it's like, oh wow. So then when we visually depicted that, there's so many people, it's like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We
like the
gave
light bulb finally goes off and they're like,
yeah,
oh, that's why.
that's what I've
Yeah.
been going wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
gave her an honorary echo degree. We're like,
Nice. She just earned her RDCS from drawing pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
She deserves
Yeah.
a credential now.
Yeah. Nice. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, she does a good job. I know. I'm very visual also. So like anytime I do a presentation or anything, I'm so graphic heavy that,
Yeah.
I've started I've done my own graphics for a long time. So
Go.
and it is like I love it. I love graphic design, but it takes so
It
much
does.
time. I really
It
need
does.
to hire that out. And I
But
have in
haven't
the
you
past.
noticed though how the ADD creates hyperfocus? And
Yeah.
that's one of the things where you're like, wait, it's 2 pixels over to the side. And we will literally spend like
Yeah.
7 hours, which a professional graphic designer could have done in 7 minutes.
Exactly. I know. I'm like, I'm just gonna create this one graphic, and here I am 4 hours later, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't
The
know.
worst use of our time.
Yeah, exactly. I really should just hire someone else. It's much easier, much faster, much better use of my time to be presenting and not drawing a heart. But
Exactly.
yeah,
But isn't it funny though, even a rudimentary drawing is still so beneficial?
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're right about visually. I know for me, I am a visual learner. If I don't see it, I don't understand it. So, I've had to teach that same way,
Yeah.
and so I've again gotten pretty good at developing that skill as far as graphic design. But yeah, I need to definitely farm that one out.
Yeah, it's funny the different ways we learn because sonographers specifically, I think majority of visual learners because of the job itself. People who are visual learners are attracted to it. Like if you only learn by hearing, you wouldn't necessarily be drawn to sonography. Right? If you're a kinetic learner, you learn by doing, you're scanning or you're visual, then ultrasound's a good space to be in.
Yeah. And that's when we go quack like a duck.
That's when we go quack like a duck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess the other exciting thing that I fell into is AI.
Yeah.
So it's funny how, you had mentioned earlier about, you work in this space and you get to meet a lot of people and be connected to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, and I think that when you are genuine and like I think the one thing that drew us to each other was just how genuine we both were and just we both wanted to collaborate and share and give. So like a physician who had worked at a facility where I had done quality improvement on campus and given physician education and blah, blah, years, like a decade or two later, had called me to say, hey, there's this AI company and they're looking to do machine learning. And he's like, I told him, if there's anybody who knows the correct way to measure stuff, it's CardioServe.
Yeah.
And so I got with the company's called iCardio, and we then CardioServe put together like a team, and we started the machine learning process for them.
Wow.
And so they had a database of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of studies. And to be honest, they were crappy studies because it was from like a real world example. And at first it was like, oh, this is terrible. And then it was like, no, actually, this is good. This is real life.
And that's real. And if it can learn on crappy studies, it can do so much better on good, images as well. So that's the one thing I've learned, working with all kinds of different algorithms and AI learning is if it can learn on the crappy ones, that you will do so much better.
Exactly. So, exactly. So they got FDA clearance for, I don't even know how many different measurements that they now AI can determine and measure for them. And then we're doing work in the ICE space.
Very nice.
So when I was working in the hospitals back whenever that was, 90s, early 2000s, I wasn't involved in any intracardiac echo at all. I'd never done it. I'd seen it, never done it. But luckily, the team of girls I hired to do the machine learning, 3 of them had ICE experience. And very so nice. They then broke into a subgroup, and they just have done so much machine learning in the space of ICE. And
ICE has changed even over the last few years too, because, like I was involved in ICE prior, but it was EP, right? So it was EP, like we didn't have 4D ICE back then, so now with the invention of 4D ICE and, those catheters have changed quite a bit as well. And so it's a whole different dynamic because now you're doing structural heart with ICE.
Yes.
Where before that didn't exist when I was clinically scanning with ICE. So big changes.
It's exciting. Yeah. So I wasn't prepared to officially talk on all this stuff, but on LinkedIn,
that's okay.
There was some first in human study that was done through the work of the CardioServe machine learning team.
Very nice.
For ICE, because they're mapping out the left atrium in ICE through AI. So it's exciting to kind of dabble in the space, because then you enter into this whole new arena of engineers and CEOs and CTOs and all of these people who they're not clinical. You want to talk about giving honorary degrees away. The guy from the company that we work with, he knows so much about echo, and he's not echo. He's just business, clinical, business and engineering brain. A science brain, a math brain, and it's just so interesting to see somebody who's not clinical. They're looking through a different lens when they come into this space of AI. And I know like people are afraid of AI, but to me, it's just like, oh, wow. Like the ability to be able to identify stuff. So like when I went to Nashville in, what was this, summer of 2025, and you see like all the companies that are now, were you in Nashville?
Yeah, I was in Nashville.
Yeah, we never met up. We were going to meet up. But did you go on the vendor floor and check out all of the AI? It's insane. So then
everything is there.
Yeah, but like being able, I came back and with one of the companies, I put they let me have access to the software, and I ran a bunch of studies through there from like a client. And it was amazing, like how much diastolic dysfunction is missed by both the human sonographer and the human physician who's reading it. And it may not be that they didn't know, but they didn't have the time to put it on the final report
or report it.
And heart failure with preserved EF. I'm just like, what is this madness? It's insane. So I'm like embracing AI. Do I think that echo, cardiac sonographers are going to be out of jobs? No. Do I think it's going to potentially down the road streamline how we do echo? Yeah. Do I think that's going to help us ergonomically? Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, can you imagine if you can get to the stage where you literally just scan your echo and then the reading, your machine
All
and
off the
equipment
cart.
does
Yeah.
all the measurements for you and does the
Mm-hmm.
final report, and you're not like spending 50 minutes with a patient with your shoulder and neck and back hurting?
Right. Yeah. My shoulder still hurts.
That's what retired sonographers.
You know.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and there are vendor agnostic softwares that do that now, right? Like this is not 10 years down the road. This is now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's ultrasound systems that have it built into them. Now I know because I've worked for a couple. I won't disclose that, but yeah, I mean, there's ultrasound systems that can do it right now. It's
they
not
push
like
the echoes through that cloud. It lands in your reporting system with all the numbers already in. It's insane.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And it does strain without you having to do anything. Like there's some that actually you put the probe down, it does all your measurements for you, does strain, does everything, does a report, and off it goes. And all you did was scan.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Now what happens, right? We talked earlier about reducing the burden on physicians and sonographers and healthcare workers. Imagine if all of your brain power now, instead of being inundated with measuring correctly and did I do this measurement and that measurement, now you get to use your brain for pathology and like to actually use a higher functioning brain to spend time on like, let me think more about what I'm seeing and what it means.
Why does the Doppler look this way?
Yeah. Why is it enlarged? Why? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm teaching an ACS course right now so I'm doing a 12-week ACS mastery course.
Are you?
And we're going, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So online, 3 days a week.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it like Zoom?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like live?
It's live Zoom. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tell me.
Yeah. So I started in January doing through my All About Ultrasound business. I Heart Echo. And so I'm doing a ACS mastery course and we're going through pressure volume loops. So, like it's kind of one of those things where people forget why the response is what it is and why you have your hemodynamics a certain way. And so when you start to compare your echo and your Doppler to the pressure volume loop, it's like these light bulbs start to go off, right? Because now you're putting the whole big picture together. But when you're focusing on, okay, I need to make sure this valve is open and I'm leading edge to leading edge and or whatever that looks like, it can be a lot. And like you said, then now you can have the ability to think through the process of why I have the Doppler the way that it is, what's causing that, what's the downstream effect, So
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that area is the most misunderstood field within echo. I think that's the most misunderstood aspect of echo. I think that sonographers of, they've mastered, chamber quantification and valvular, kind of rules and stuff, but we always forget about that aspect.
Everything comes down to pressure and volume, right? I mean, this is what drives flow. So, if you can understand those dynamics from cath and cross them over into echo, then it just changes how you look at everything.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been knee deep in pressure volume loops.
Well, let me save you $12,000 and pulling your hair out and let me be your joint provider.
Yeah. Yes, please. Sign me up. No, I'm for real. Like we need to talk about that.
That is one of the other reasons too, because it was like there's so many. I say small respectfully because we are a small company, and it's like that have so much not like you'll meet one person in one random hospital and you're like, dude, can I just take you for one day and you talk to me and can I use this to teach people? And so there's people who want to sit on that computer and hack away and put out a course or something. And again, like we were saying, nobody's necessarily going to learn it because they're not getting CMEs. Right. So that's one of the things we want to be able to do when, knock on wood, we have our interview in February, when we earn our own, accreditation that we would love to be the joint provider for the mom and pops of echo and cardiology in general.
I would love to have a conversation about that.
It's because the to get into that space, it's like there's some joint providers that want to charge $15,000 a course.
I got a quote for 21 for one course. $21,000 for one course. I was like, nope, I'll go get my own accreditation. It's not worth it.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Now, I gotta say, like when I got mine, the original owner of the company, I guess he knew he was getting ready to sell the company. So he did, we did an agreement. And I have to say that when it was bought out, a physician bought the company, and he was gracious enough to accept the agreement that we had in place. But now I'm starting to understand the level of paperwork and stuff that's supposed to go on behind the scenes. I'm like, yeah, I can understand why companies don't want to work with smaller companies. It's literally such a headache and not worth the hassle. If you're looking at it from a financial point, there's no reason to be a joint provider for anyone, any little company. But if you're doing it for the love of the game, you're doing it for the love of the learning, and you're doing it for the love of the field, all of a sudden, these little individual peoples that pop up and it's like, I have something useful, dude, then it's worth it.
Yeah. Because you have to make sure they're on top of it too, because that risks your accreditation. Right. So that's the other factor, is you have to make sure that they are complying with what you need from them, because otherwise they put you at risk. And so there's a lot of risk to you in being a joint provider of accreditation.
And then, because it's kind of the contents, like how accurate it is, because people's interpretation of material is everyone, comes in it differently, sees it differently. I mean, that's what is the beautiful of everyone's seeing things differently. But obviously you want to make sure that someone's like, I literally, like from the middle of last year till December, every time I turned around, a new guideline paper was dropped. It's like, there's a new paper on diastology. There's a new paper on hypertension. There's a new paper on reporting. I'm like, ASC, slow down. Like,
there's a new paper on strain. And guess what? I spoke at the STMS on strain and diastology right after the new guidelines got put out. I had to revamp my entire talks.
How does anyone talk on diastology? Go. Everyone I know doesn't want to touch it. Like,
I don't mind it. I like talking about it.
Oh my God. That's because you understand the whole flow and
I have a whole course on it.
Okay, well, that's what we need to get out to everyone, because diastology is just brutal.
It can be. Yeah, for sure. So I ended up last minute redoing my talks to make sure that they were in compliance with the new guidelines. And so I was like, oh my goodness, 2 at once. It was great. But it was a good time, I mean, it was craziness getting it all ready in time. Because I think I spoke in like September, and the strain guideline came out in August. So it was fun.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, we just had the pulmonary hypertension was the one that had affected our right heart series. And that was a lot, just editing that. So I cannot imagine with diastology.
Definitely a lot. And we're right now on the All About Ultrasound I Heart Echo website, we do offer a few CMEs here and there, but they're accredited through STMS, which I appreciate the STMS. I love the STMS, but I can only offer it to sonographers. So unfortunately that doesn't, I want to be able to, I have physicians that are taking some of my classes. I do POCUS work as well. I'm doing some POCUS courses. And so I have physicians that want to be able to get credit for these, and I can't offer that right now. So that's why I started looking into also being more of a well-rounded provider of education. For not just sonographers, but for physicians as well. We definitely need to talk about the joint providership.
For sure. For sure. So that's a speed run of what's going on with my life right now.
It's a lot.
And then I guess the other last thing would be I put in for 2 patents.
Oh,
so they're brand new. I literally just submitted be one like 2 or 3 days ago, and the other one is getting ready to submit in the next few days. One's a product and one is a methodology. So nice. I will hopefully in a year's time be able to tell you how great it went with my provisional patent application.
Very nice.
And share a lot of things
going on at CardioServe.
It's the ADD, my friend.
I know.
It's the magic sauce.
Yeah. It serves you well.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's good though. Yeah. It's good.
My ADD tends to just get distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing is like I hired a gentleman out of Texas, and he's overseeing the education, the build out, and he's going to be the medical education manager. And that's the crazy thing. I'm like, wow, pre-COVID, I never would have hired somebody that didn't come to the office.
Yeah.
Right. So like one of my best hires ever was Andrea, who's the most phenomenal human being on the planet.
I love her.
And she moved from Indiana to Florida. But like in today's environment, all of a sudden
she could have stayed put.
So now it's like you get to hire better staff.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to hire someone who wants to live in swampy hot Florida, you know, who may not want to be here with all the crazies, because it's like a Florida man, ... you know, like, oh. So now it's like, oh, wow, I got to hire someone from Texas, you know, so I'm looking to hire right now. And it's like, wow, I get to throw a wider net.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy not being in Florida, I have to say, as much as I love Florida and it was my home for 30 years. I spent most of my life there. I really love having the change in seasons in Ohio. Although I will say, you know, we're leaving, my husband and I are flying out to Germany tomorrow to go visit my stepson, and we are just about this much going to miss. Our plane will take off, I'm sure. We're going to miss a snowstorm. We're supposed to get like 8 to 12 inches, something like that, while we're gone. So
that's right.
As much as I miss, you know, I like Florida, I also don't know about that much snow. I don't know. I'm kind of in between. Like days like this, I'm like, I'd be okay wearing flip-flops in Florida again.
That's when you go, oh, I get it now with the snowbirds. I understand it. Why they come down. It's like, that's the way to do it. Be able to afford two homes.
Yeah. My parents are still in Florida, so I still visit often, but
that's nice.
Yeah, I do like my change in seasons, although I don't know, this one's a big change.
Yeah, but sometimes you end up having, it's all practically winter.
Yeah.
Instead of it being all summer in Florida, it ends up being that you have 2 or 3 seasons of cold. It's like, then it's same.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see if I stay here. So, but it's a good spot. So, and it's been a good move. You know, my son, I moved him up here to be around his cousins. So he graduated high school with his cousins. And so it's been a really good move for him. That's the whole reason I'm here. And then I just kind of stayed. I had every intention to move back after he graduated. Nope, I'm still here. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. He got to be with his cousins. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So the joys of raising children while you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Whole other topic. That's a different podcast.
You know what? One of my favorite, I don't know if you went to it, but one of my favorite ASE sessions I went to was Women in Echo.
Oh no, I missed that one.
Oh my God. That's a podcast right there. Yeah. It's just amazing when you listen to the women who have been trailblazers within the field of cardiology, and you understand what it was even like for them to be the first female to run a department, the first female to do this, the first female to do that. It was crazy. It was so inspiring.
Wow.
So inspiring. So yeah, girl power.
Definitely. Love it. Awesome.
I'm glad we got to do this.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad that it worked out, and I appreciate you spending the time with me. So thank you so much.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, awesome. So this has been another episode of Sonographers After Dark with Judith Buckland. I'm Lara Williams. I'll see you next time.